AFTV Mo, same old result.
Yeah, man, same old result. And at half-time, I was sitting there thinking, okay, 1-0 down, but a bit of an improvement from previous years. And at full-time, do I think that? No.
No improvement?
No, I don't think so, man. I feel like,
He's there.
it was too same, same old story. A few chances, missed them, and then just switch off, some silly mistakes, And Robbie, I have to go back to what I said last week. I made 2 points about 2 players. My first point was about Ceballos. And I said, let's not overhype him. We don't judge our players on what they can do at home to Burnley. We judge them on what they can do away at Liverpool. And as soon as you put in a performance like that, like he did against Burnley, you're a marked man. Any decent manager worth their salt is going to say, okay, look, he's the danger man. He's going to link attack to or defence to attack, and we need to make sure we take him out of the game. Story of the game was Wijnaldum went off 5 minutes after Ceballos went off. Job done. Klopp got it perfect. He got it bang on. And does that mean Ceballos is a rubbish player? Just like last week, it meant that we should be giving Real Madrid 60 million because he was brilliant. We shouldn't have been saying that last week. And this week, no one should be slating him. It's going to take him a while to get used to the league. But unfortunately, it didn't work for him today. Second thing, David Luiz. What word did I use to describe him when we signed him?
He can make a lot of mistakes.
No, but what word did I use? You called me out.
You called him a clown.
I called him a clown. That performance today was a circus. That was a shocking performance. If that was Mustafi making that performance, we'd all be up in arms, going absolutely mad. That was a Luiz Staffy performance, basically, as far as I'm concerned. And the thing is, look, with David Luiz, it's a joke. We had a shocking defence last year, and we've signed a player that we're saying, oh no, but he plays great through balls. That's not the issue. You buy a number 10 to play great through balls. You don't buy a centre back. We have to hope that he doesn't.
But then you can also level the same thing what you just said. You shouldn't be judging him on this either,
of
because
course, and that's what I was about to say.
you just said he's a clown and a circus.
No, but listen, I'm judging him. Like with Ceballos, it's different, right? Ceballos, we haven't seen him in this league. David Luiz is the established Premier League player. We can expect him to hit the ground running, and not only that, he's a senior player. How many senior appearances has Ceballos had? How many senior appearances?
He's had a bad day.
No, he's
in
had a
an
bad
Arsenal
day.
shirt.
But this is very common.
It's his second game.
This is exactly what
second game. Yes, second game.
This is exactly what I expected of David Luiz. This won't be the first time we'll have that.
Yeah, but he didn't do that last week. So I'm saying, employing the same sort of thing that you said, you shouldn't really be calling him a clown.
No, you're missing.
This is a bad performance by him today.
You're missing the point here. When I'm calling him a clown, I'm basing it on what I've seen of him for many, many years. Remember against Luis Suarez in the Champions League, got nutmegged twice, got mugged off twice. Here against Mohamed Salah, again, how close are you getting to one of the best forwards in the league? You're getting spun for fun. He must still be dizzy. It's an absolute joke.
But then should somebody then also be covering
Monreal
for that, because he's on a yellow card?
Listen,
so who's covering behind?
Monreal tried. Monreal was right behind Salah, but the fact of the matter is Salah's that good. He's that quick and he's that good. But David Luiz, that performance today, we need to hope that we don't see too much of that. And the only benefit is that he won't be coming up against an attack like Liverpool's too often. So generally he'll get out of those situations. But this is exactly what I expected of David Luiz, and he needs to fix up, because we can't afford these sort of performances. We can't afford these sorts of mistakes. For me, trying to look at positives today, Joe Willock, I thought he was sensational today. And this isn't me saying that Joe Willock was the best out of a bad bunch. This is Joe Willock in your own right. You were brilliant today. I really, really thought he can leave the pitch with his head held high. When we look at the manager today, I think he got it wrong starting Xhaka. When I was driving up today, the one thing I said is the one player I don't want to see starting is Granit Xhaka. And this isn't me trying to dig out Granit Xhaka. I didn't think he had a good game today, but this is his comeback game. He should not have been starting away from home to Liverpool. He had a poor game today, but he shouldn't have been put in that situation. It should have been Torreira from the first minute. If Xhaka's going to play, give him 15 minutes at the end, because Torreira's grafted for 75. But to play him for 90 minutes, I think was a shocker. Maitland-Niles, he had a shocker as well, and me and you have discussed him at length, right? And last season I was banging the Maitland-Niles drum, and I was saying, listen, for a player that's meant to be a central midfielder, he's covering Bellerin's position, he's doing well enough. And you kept on saying to me, look, if you're playing in that position, you need to step up. It doesn't, forget excuses, you need to step up. And I disagreed with you, and I said, look, you have to give him time. He's had his time now. He's played basically a whole season in that position, and now there can be no excuses. Today I thought he was very sloppy, very poor, and there was too much of that around the park. But the one thing that annoyed me, and this is a team thing, if you were going to try and play out from the back, and this is what worried me against Burnley, because we struggled against Burnley. If you're going to try and play out from the back, you need to do two things. First one, mix it up. You can't be that predictable. But when those occasions do arise, when you are going to pass it out from the back, you have to be on the half turn. And we weren't. We were flat-footed. We were facing our own keeper. And what needs to be happening, you need to be on the half turn. And I appreciate the situation behind you can change very quickly, and it's too risky to try and turn if you're not 100% sure. And that means that every single one of the players around you needs to be talking to you, telling you, turn, time, man on, whatever you need to be telling that player. But we could see times on the pitch today as fans where a player could have been on that half turn, could have turned in space, but instead they're playing it back and letting them push us deeper and deeper and deeper. Clearly the players on the pitch aren't telling them when they've got time to turn because they weren't doing it. For me, that's the most frustrating thing. Emery's been trying to play this brand of football, of trying to force playing out the back for so long now, and it's tedious. It's getting tedious now because I'm not seeing that improvement. He needs to coach them to play on that half turn. Guendouzi was the only player today that on a few occasions managed to turn into that space. I'm looking at other times where Monreal receives it on the left. There's 20 yards in front of you. Go and get into that space. That's going to change the angle. That's going to beat the first line of their press. And instead, again, it's sideways and backwards. We need to stop that because it's very tedious and clearly it's not working.